For years, I had been trying to accurately capture the sound of my electric guitar in my home recordings, but I had no clue what I was doing, and it actually was so discouraging that I changed the way I wrote songs because I hated the way my electric guitar sounded, until somebody showed me this microphone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's go. For you experienced players out there, this may come as no surprise, but not everyone has had the luxury of being so enlightened by this discovery. It is the Royer 121. In my opinion, it is truly the holy grail microphone for electric guitar, especially for thick, mid-range, and overdriven tones. Released in 1998, this microphone was a revolutionary design for ribbon microphones, and for those who don't know, ribbon microphones utilize an ultra-thin ribbon, which in the case of the Royer is approximately 1/50th the width of a human hair. The beauty of that is in how sensitive it is to air pressure, which gives it the ability to pick up the most delicate frequencies in a unique way that distinguishes it from other types of microphones. But if you know anything about ribbon microphones, the fragility of the ribbon also comes with a risk of damaging your ribbon if placed too closely to an instrument with high sound pressure levels, also known as SPLs, like a kick drum, bass guitar, or close proximity to an excessively loud guitar cabinet. But Royer has done a fantastic job at recreating the ribbon microphone to be able to withstand high SPL levels without nearly as much fear of damaging your ribbon, which has made it a staple item in most studios for tracking electric guitar and even for use on the road. All right, well, that's enough science and history. Let's go ahead and give you some examples. I'm gonna play through a few different riffs here to demonstrate how accurately this microphone can pick up a variety of sounds. And I'll be recording this side by side with a Shure SM57 for reference. Now, just as a disclaimer, this is not a microphone comparison video. Obviously, a $1,000 microphone is going to sound vastly different than a $100 microphone. But even so, they both have their place in the studio because they both do different things with a different purpose in mind. I just picked the SM57 because it's a microphone that most musicians are familiar with, which makes it a great point of reference. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed when I tried out the Royer 121 for the first time is how well it tames the high frequencies. And it's not just rolling off the high frequencies, but rather the ribbon does such a great job at capturing the full range of the frequency spectrum that it renders the highs in context with the other frequencies. In other words, the high frequencies aren't out there on a limb by themselves because of how detailed and accurate the mid to low frequencies are, which almost gives it the illusion of rolling off the high end. And the second thing I noticed about this microphone when I first used it was how much low end it captures in general, but also how pronounced those lows are the closer you get to your source. And I later came to find out that this is called the proximity effect. The Royer manual actually provides an equation explaining how X amount of distance you get closer to your source results in X amount of gain in the low end. For wankers like us, that just means the closer you put your mic to your cabinet, the better it sounds. We can do another video about proximity effect in the future, but this just explains it in general terms. As always, opinions vary greatly, and some may hate the way this microphone sounds on guitar, and that's fine. But for my taste in music, the 121 was the missing piece. The SM57 was never quite full enough or real enough for my preferences in electric guitar tones. But what you can do, and what so many are doing these days, and what I do, is use a Royer 121 with an SM57. And it's in fact so common that they actually made a microphone clip that holds both at the same time. And not only that, but the clip also helps you keep both mics in phase without always having to set up two microphone stands in line and get them perfectly, and heaven forbid you bump one of them and then have to start all over. So that is a great option if you want to be able to capture a full guitar tone. That's pretty much what I do in every video here. I use a 121 with an SM57 and I just blend them together and it just sounds great every time. Now, should you go out and buy this microphone? Well, it's always a question of, do you need better gear or do you just need to learn how to use your current gear better? And the answer is forever going to be both. There's always going to be someone out there who can make a better record than you with cheaper gear because they have more experience. And experience isn't something you can buy, it just takes time. However, if gear did not matter, then why do quality studios have the nicest equipment? So there's obviously something to it. I would say that experience matters more than gear because, again, an expert with an iPhone can sound better than a wanker with a Neve console. That said, it's never wrong to upgrade your gear from time to time, especially if you have the money to do so. But hear me on this, do not make an upgrade unless it is going to be a meaningful one. If you're comparing DAWs or XLR cables and you're wondering if you should spend twice the money on a better one, I can guarantee you're not going to hear nearly as much of a difference as you will with an upgrade in microphones. A $1,000 Royer microphone was an expensive upgrade for me, but it wasn't just a 5% difference that I was getting. It was the difference literally between me hating recording electric guitar to anxiously looking forward to recording electric guitar. So if you're wondering why it's hard to get a good sound out of your electric guitar in recording, you may want to try a ribbon microphone like the Royer 121. And you could always just buy one used from Guitar Center online, and if you don't like it, return it in 45 days. That's basically what I've done to get all the stuff in my studio here. Take them up on their return policy. So the key takeaway is that upgrades do matter, but make them meaningful and make it a life-changing upgrade. Not every time. I mean, of course, there's gonna be a time where you wanna buy something that just sounds better and you may not even really hear the difference, but you do 10 of those and it sounds better. So do it as you get more money in savings, get out of dollars. Inflation is killing everyone. It's better to buy gear while it's cheaper. So yeah, the Royer 121 to me is a no-brainer. That's why I bought 2 of them. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, cheers.